What's its slugfest thing, guys? Oof. Andrew Pulyaev let me down in his last fight. I genuinely thought he would be able to beat Christian Leroy Duncan. And Leroy Duncan was just styling on him. It was kind of sad to watch. Getting picks wrong is hard, man. Especially if your pick loses badly. Like, that was hard to watch. But yeah, what do you call him? Christian Leroy Duncan actually performed exceptionally well. Nick Klein probably going to be one of those fights of who's worse. Like, I think I think this fight is probably I think this probably is going to be who's worse, right? This fight is going to be who's worse. And man, I mean, I to be honest, a part of me wants to go with Andrew Pulyaev at this point because ultimately we're going with who lost to who. But I think Nick Klein is dropping down. No, it's not dropping down. It's still middleweight. You know, losing to what do you call him? Christian Leroy Duncan via TK, but via decision is better than losing to Abdul Malik via TKO. You know, losing to Christian Leroy Duncan via decision is honestly a lot better than losing to Abdul Malik, who is still undefeated, but still, I mean, that performance against Cody Bumdage was honestly terrible. So the fact that Nick Klein was knocked out by this guy, man, it doesn't sit well with me, and I'm still picking this guy. Predicting fights, man. Predicting fights is something else. Like, how do you have a competitive fight with Cody Brandage? But to be fair, Cody Brandage, but he was looking for a robbery. Cody Brandage is always looking for a robbery. I mean, Abdul Malik is undefeated, you know. So I mean, I'm trying to justify it, but come on, man. Like how? I mean, and at the same time, even though Andrew Pulayev went to a decision with Christian Leroy Duncan, he was getting beaten up. It's not like it was a competitive. Like obviously he was fighting really well, but it's not like it was this tit for tat kind of a fight. Like what do you call him? Christian Leroy Duncan was owning him in that particular fight. So it's kind of hard to have any sort of confidence in either of these guys. But my subscribers and I are going with Nick Klein. Um, Nick Klein, what do you call him? Andrew Pulayev is going to have a 1.5-inch reach advantage. I don't think it's going to matter. Finishing ability, both of them are pretty good at finishing fights. Nick Klein has an 83% finishing rate. Andrew Pulayev has a what do you call it? A 78% finishing rate, which is pretty good. But this is outside the UFC. In the UFC, he's yet to win a fight. Um, as far as striking ability, I think both of them are pretty evenly matched. Volume wise, I think they're pretty evenly matched, with a slight advantage to Pulyaev. I think defensively, both are pretty evenly matched with an advantage to Nick Lane, a slight advantage. So both of them more or less are pretty evenly matched as far as striking goes. Technicals, I think on the feet, once again, I don't think I'm going to give either of them any advantage as far as striking goes. Grappling wise, oh damn, I think Nick Klein might have a bit of an advantage as far as grappling offensively, Defensively, Andrew Pulyaev is pretty decent. Um, so it's going to be interesting to see how this one plays out. Um, Nick Klein is horrible defensively. Like he's really horrible. Okay, not horrible, but he's bad defensively as far as grappling goes. But offensively, he's really good. So it's gonna be interesting to see if Pulayev actually decides to shoot takedowns or not. But yeah, my subscribers and I are going to go with Nick Klein. I'm a little bit worried because of his takedown defense, but obviously he was fighting a massive guy, in Abdul Malik. I feel like Abdul Malik is okay early, and then he subsides as the fight proceeds. So yeah, low confidence in this particular pick, but I'm going with Nick Klein in this particular fight. Yeah, that concludes my breakdown. No, there's no confidence in either of them, to be honest, at this particular. Like Andrew Pulyaev lost badly to Christian Leroy Duncan. Malsi, into my OC, okay. Um, Joshua McGee, Klein, yeah. I'm with you, but the loss to Abdul Malik is not aging well. But at the same time, Andrew Pulayev was being owned by Christian Leroy Duncan. So like neither of them are particularly that great. Um, I don't like Nick Clay's defensive wrestling. I think he gets taken down a little bit easier than Pulayev. And I think what do you call him? Christian Leroy Duncan is pretty decent. So for him to be able to avoid the takedowns as much as he was able to was kind of interesting to say the least. So I don't know, man. On the feet, I think they are pretty evenly matched. On the ground, I think Nick Lane is better offensively, and Pulayev is better defensively. And normally, I love the defense over offensive wrestling, but I don't know. I feel like Nick Lane might be a little bit better. Um, I, this fight could generally go either way, to be honest. So yeah, my subscribers and I are going with Nick Lane. Let's see. Uh, Shoshat McGee, not confident. I'm with you there, man. Mel C, please, man. Dude, like, don't be horny on my streams, dude. Shoshat McGee, both trash, but seems to have more heart. I'm with you there. Mel C, it my. Oh, what's happening? Take down and off the line. Okay, this is getting creepy. Shoshat McGee, Klein seems like he is crazy strong. Yeah, but he lost to Malik. Man. Malik went life and death with Cody Brandage. That left a bad taste in my mouth. Melcy, love, what the hell is happening in the comment section? Um, I don't think I need to spend too much time on this particular fight. I'm going. Yeah, my subscribers and I are going with Nick Lane. I don't think there's any more to actually go through. Shoshot McGee, other guy seems like he gets bullied. You mean Andrew Pulayev? I mean, I get it. I get what you're saying, but both of them, for me personally, are pretty. Did not look good in their previous fights, to be honest. I just feel like on the feed, they are evenly matched. On the ground, Nick Klein is might be a little bit better offensively. Pulayev is pretty decent defensively. At this point, it's pick your poison. I don't know who wins this one, to be honest. But I'm going with Nick Klein. I don't know. I feel like maybe his offensive wrestling might play a role. He has a higher finishing rate. I mean, I don't know, man. Let me see. I think both of them. How many fights? I know Andrew Pulayev only had a fight against Christian Leroy Duncan. Let me actually verify how many fights. Maybe that might make me a little bit more confident. Oh shit! Both of them have had one fight in the UFC. Nick Klein lost via TKO to Abdul Malik. Andrew Pulyaev went to a decision with Christian Leroy Duncan. I'm not very confident in this particular fight. I'm not gonna lie. Um, oh damn. Okay, I'm sticking with this pick. My subscribers and I are going with Nick Lane. I think I've broken down as much as I can on this particular fight. Shoshat McGee, Klein via less of a can. I'm not sold on CLD, and CLD schooled homeboy. Hmm, that's interesting. You don't think Christian Leroy Duncan is actually good, Shoshat McGee? In all honesty, I also picked Andrew Pulyaev in his debut. To be honest, I thought he would beat Christian Leroy Duncan, and boy was I wrong. So you still feel like he's not that great. Yeah, that's interesting. But yeah, if you're watching this, I'm picking Andrew, but again, Nick Klein, not confident at all. These two fighters are pretty bad. Either of them could win. My analysis and my prediction is based off of who's less bad. That's basically it. Shoshat McGee, nah, he is an athlete, not a fighter. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I could see why you say why you would say that. He will quit in a fight soon and can't wrestle and undersized. Okay, okay. We'll see though. We'll see. MLC, I don't even know what an Uzi is, dude. But I don't know if you're. But it seems like you're a dude. Like, what's happening? Like, why would you come onto a stream and say things like that? What's wrong with you? Anyway, I love and appreciate all of you. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Probably I'm going to do the last three fights tomorrow, or maybe divide them. Maybe Friday I might do one, but maybe I might want to finish. So tomorrow I probably will do Austin Bashi versus John Yanis, Rafael Estevan versus Felipe Bunes, and Piera Rodriguez versus Ketlin Souza. Um, I love you too, big boy. The internet, man. Anyway, I love and appreciate all of you. See you guys tomorrow. Deuces.